Welcome to another episode of Movie Lover News, the #1 movie news show on earth. I'm your host Tyrone Rubin, doing this show with Alex. I'm very excited about this news that I'm about to report on. Elle Fanning and Partick Fugit are joining the cast of Cameron Crowe's new film called We Bought a Zoo. It's due out at the end of next year on the 23rd of December. It's based on the book by Benjamin Mee. It's an autobiographical work. The book's called We Bought a Zoo, the amazing true story of a young family, a broken down zoo, and the 200 wild animals that changed their lives forever. When writer Benjamin Mee's father died, his mother needed to sell the house and move to a smaller place. So the entire family decided to buy a zoo. After a long series of negotiations, Benjamin Mee, his mother, and his brother moved into the park's rundown house and started running a zoo. Though they owned the grounds and its 200 animals outright, they still had to pay 20 staff members, feed the animals, and upgrade the grounds. During the first week, a jaguar escaped, and the author and his brother began to realize what they've gotten themselves into. Through eradicating the plague of rats, clearing out years of rubbish to reveal usable buildings, and battling with banks for operating expenses, the author and his staff gradually pulled the zoo back from the brink of closure. The film is being directed by Cameron Crowe, who I'm a huge fan of. Cameron Crowe wrote the screenplay and book for Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which was released in 1982. He wrote and directed Say Anything. He wrote and directed and produced Singles in 1992. He wrote, produced and directed Jerry Maguire in 1996. And in 2000 he wrote, produced and directed Almost Famous, which is one of my favorite films about music. In 2001 he wrote, directed and produced Vanilla Sky, and in 2005 he wrote, directed and produced Elizabethtown. So it's been a while since Cameron Crowe's done a film. He's also busy working on an Untitled Pearl Jam documentary, which is a documentary on the band Pearl Jam that marks their 20th anniversary next year, 2011. So this film really stirs up my excitement that it's got Cameron Crowe on board. I've heard a lot about this film, but now that they've got Elle Fanning and Partick Fugit, confirms that they are making this film. It's got a really wonderful cast in this film. It's got Matt Damon, who plays Benjamin Mee, Scarlett Johansson, Thomas Haden Church, who plays Duncan Mee, Colin Ford, Maggie Elizabeth Jones, who plays Rosie Mee. Elle Fanning, who's joined the cast, is in a couple of films at the moment. She's going to be in next year's Super 8. She's going to be in next year's Vivaldi. She's going to be in a film called Twixt Now and Sunrise, which has been written and directed by legendary director Ford Coppola. And she's in Sofia Coppola's film Somewhere. Partick Fugit, who played William Miller in Almost Famous, which was directed by Cameron Crowe in 2000. He's in a film due out next year called Must Come Down, and in a film called Cinema Verite, which is due out in 2012, which is a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the first American family to be the subjects of a reality TV show. So the Cameron Crowe film, We Bought a Zoo, which is due out on the 23rd of December next year, on my excitement meter sits at around an 8.8. I'm very excited. I love Cameron Crowe. I think he's got a really interesting take on cinema. He really makes some interesting films. So I'm really excited about this film, We Bought a Zoo. Thank you.